Hello everybody, it's Saberwolf. I am back again. I'm flying solo this time though. Got another match for you all today. It's a community night race, head-to-head match between Jexvrok and Kalar MacBran. Now, the flag set that these guys have chosen is pretty wacky and wild. I'm going to get into that as we progress throughout this race here. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Woof. Give them the 1 minute call as I switch over the audio over to. We're going to listen to Jexvrok's soundtrack here. Sorry, multitasking here. But yeah, like I said, the flag set is pretty crazy here, to say the least. I will go through it as we go along. But yeah. But most importantly is 6 characters, 10 espers to get to Kefka's tower. How we get there is pretty great. With all these quests involved and auto effects, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. I'll give you the rundown as soon as I get the racers off and running. Good luck, have fun, racers. Jexvrok has run a lot of races in our community. Kalar MacBran, haven't seen him in our community races, but more than welcome to hop aboard on these races. Again, these community races are open up to anybody, so we'd love to see the community grow, love to see get out of your shell, get restreamed, join the community, and get that a little bit of love and a little bit of, I guess just say, experience doing live races and stuff. But again, we have Gogo, Strago, and Setzer to start us off. That's if I can find Setzer. There he is. So it's the 3 character start here. Mimic, Lore, Setzer getting the Moogle Charm there for Jexvrok. I am going to switch the audio over to Kalar because we're having a little bit of skipping audio there. There we go. Okay, Gembox or Genji helmet there for Kalar is going to get that. And it looks like this is... I thought this was character gating, but apparently this is actually open world. Because Gogo's... we're getting some lock checks done here. Going to go get the Curse Shield that we just saw in the previous race. Exactly the same thing as the previous race we just had. We just had the quarterfinals for the Coliseum 2 event. 6 battles for the Curse Shield there. And Delessa in our chat, grabbing, seeing that lore as a Grand Train start. That's a very important lore to have, one of the best lores to have. Although Wind has been a very popular one throughout the Coliseum 2 series, it's been kind of a surprising ability to do a lot of damage to various bosses and such. Jexvrok, forgetting that he's actually in the World of Balance, not the World of Ruin, cannot go behind the counter of the weapon shop. I mean, you can, you're just not going to find anything back there. Also, a little bit of an alternate palette change also here we have for our runners. Seeing a little bit different palettes here on the NPC characters. Also, cool to see the improved heads-up display of the minimap that both of our runners are using. It looks like YNPC remove is on as well. And looks like Jexvrok is getting set up for the Go-Go check and the going to the Belly of the Beast here on the Triangle Island. Let me run through some of the other quest items that our runners are going to have to do. You forget 10 spells if you defeat Gold Dragon. You get auto-condemned if you defeat Skull Dragon. You get Vigor -10 if you defeat the Red Dragon. Auto seizure effect, which means you automatically take damage constantly if you kill the Storm Dragon. You get auto muted, so permanent mute if you face the White Dragon. Auto reflect on the Blue Dragon. Auto sleep on the Dirt Dragon. auto slowed on the Ice Dragon, and auto image on the Gold Dragon. However, if you do defeat 4 of the dragons, you do get a KT skip. So, kind of important there. If you do kill 3 dragons, you're gonna get some negative buffs on you, but in return, you're actually gonna get the KT skip. Moving along ahead, if you defeat Goddess, you're gonna get auto image. If you defeat the Spicy Chicken, you're gonna get auto haste. If you defeat Magi Master, you're going to learn 10 random spells. If you defeat Rexol, you're going to get auto shell. If you defeat Dadaluma, you're going to get plus 15 vigor to all your characters. Plus 15 speed if you defeat Doom. Auto save if you defeat Doom as well. I guess you get 2 effects if you defeat Doom. Plus 99 stamina if you are able to defeat the Ghost Train and suplex it. So if you suplex Ghost Train and beat it, you're going to get 99 stamina. And that's it. I hope you all wrote that down because I don't want to repeat it again. Skills are slightly randomized, although Terra's going to have lore, Steel's going to be slot, Sword Tech's going to be blitz, Throw's going to be health. Tools is going to be Sword Tech, and Blitz is going to be Tools. Runic's going to be Throw as well. Then Lore, Sketch, Slot, Dance, Rage, and Leap are all going to be randomized. Possess, Capture, and GP Rain is off. Experience times 4, Magic Points, and Gold Multiplier are times 6, so good money off of these fights. And oh, Jexvrok is going to get caught by the Leprechaun, is going to go down into the pit again. Max scaling for this is going to be 42, so not too bad on the max scaling. Times 2 on the scaling. Dragons are scaled, so we were able to fight dragons a little bit earlier here. If people are chatting, we'll get to them in just a second. We are going to save here for Jexvrok before we get squashed here, as Kalar MacBran is still looting now in South Figaro. Our runners did start with 10,000 gold and 3 warp stones and 2 tools. And that's about it for everything. Again, you had slightly alternate palettes and such, but that's about it. Oh, and a surprise for what Kefka's going to look like, apparently. So that's everything. I hope you all wrote those down. I'm going to turn the audio up a little bit more from Kalar. There we go. Looks like Cyan was going to be our reward for the end of the Billy the Beast check here. We do have some warp stones, but I guess Jex is not going to... Oh, he's going to go back and get that last chest before warping out here. And since we get a character, we can reset a character, so we help with the menu boss there to limit that effect, and we move on. Get a little free check there for Jexvrok from getting the Setzer. Kind of surprised that Kalar was able to do the weapon shop for Narsh, because it does say that it is character gating, not open world. So I'm not sure on how that worked out. Again, I am restreaming, commentating, and doing the tracker all at the same time, so please bear with me if I fall behind. But both our runners look like do have auto trackers going, so we'll look at the auto trackers once in a while to make sure that our regular trackers are up to date. Also, any questions in the chat will be welcomed as well. if you want to learn about the game and such like that, you can head over to www.ff6wc.com. That was a free Genji armor from the Culligan Inn off the Setzer check there. Also, you can hit ff6wc.com/Discord to join the Discord community. There's a beginner section there. You can ask questions there, and generally you'll get an answer back within 10 minutes of posting something in there. We have a very great community, a very loving community that all work together. In fact, our community is so awesome that any of our subscriptions on our channel, on our FF6 Worlds Collide Twitch channel, all that money actually goes to charity. We do not take any of that money. 100% of that goes to charity. And we've actually raised over $20,000 for charities over the last couple of years. So kudos to all our community members coming out and helping all of our causes. Crystal Orb going on to Strago, that's going to increase the mana pool they have, even though we haven't got any Espers yet, so no magic means no NP. Which, on top of that, if you do find like things like Illumina and stuff like that, you actually need MP to get the crits off. So if you haven't picked up an Esper yet, you're not going to have any MP to fuel those sword swings, as Jexvrok is going to go into the weapon shop as well. Gembox Genji helmet is going to grab the Genji helmet. So I guess maybe this is slightly open world. I don't know. It's kind of weird how they're able to do that. Dragon Boots in the shop there for Kalar. I want to say Kalar because that was the maybe it's Kalar, I don't know, but Kalar was actually a Klingon character from Star Trek. So I'm not sure if that is where they got the name. I don't know. Once again, for those watching, this is the Worlds Collide Community Night. Saturday night, we do Community Night races, or almost at least restream races, rather, every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now, Wednesdays is over on Speed Gamers Network, usually on channels either 2 or 3. And on Thursdays and Saturdays, it is streamed on our FF6 Worlds Collide channel right here. Although, if a bunch of community members want to get together and do some races together, we can always restream at various times. You're more than welcome to jump in. Monster of the Box check there for Jexvrok is going to find PM Stalker. That's not what they're looking for there, but we'll stick around for the fight, possibly. Just for a little bit of experience here. Is going to count for a battle here, as we do have slots. And he's going to get that fight, so it's going to count. Kalar MacBran still doing some looting here. Now, generally the first 10 to 15 minutes of your run is generally going to be looting to try to bring up your war chest here of items to protect your party at. Because your party does start with their vanilla items. And ooh, darlings, those you do not want to see in a fight. Those are ninjas. And anytime you see those darling ninjas or regular ninjas on the screen, those are bad news. It looks like he's going to push through it, as he does do the burning house check. Now, this is one of Strago's checks. You can get some fights in here to try to get some levels early on in the game. So let's see if he can get some fights here and kills. Now, again, these darlings are pretty hardy. These are later game enemy fights here. But because of the low levels here with the tier stacking here, and we're just at the base tiers, luckily they don't have any magic power to really fuel their big-time spells and such. And we're going to get to that fight, thanks to leveling. Darling. And once again. Now we got some levels there. We're going to get some free heals there from health to bring our HP pools to maximum. Hey chat, let me know if the audio is good for you, as it is for me, because, you know, we did have another race earlier with the quarterfinals action going on. Doing some restreamer stuff here, sorry. Both our runners are pretty much doing some fights here to try to get some levels. So while they do that, I am going to do a little bit of behind the scenes work here. There we go. Cool. All right. Kalar MacBran still slugging their way through the burning house like a firefighter would. Trying to get to the end to save whatever, hopefully, character is at the end of this burning house. Or an Esper. Well, Jexvrok with Setzer there dancing around mad with a counter above the head, which means they do not have a ribbon or a peace ring or something to prevent the effects of this. Of the curse shield, so he's just gonna have to unequip Setzer and just move on with it. Again, with only 6 battles to get rid of the curse on the shield, it's not too bad. So this will be very quick. Oh, and now it is imped on top of that, so you know, it just you know, just keep rubbing the sore wound there. Ooh, gets a big roll on the slots there. That's a good one. And it looks like Kalar's not having much luck with the flames here. Ooh, he's dancing past that one. How about that? Now we just get to the right side. Oh, he's going to go to the right, so he's going to get the extra chest here. Strato, not too bad of a weapon there. Oh, slips past that flame there. He's going to go for another chest. Yeah, soft, not that great. Hey, tricks past the last little flame there. Level 13, not too bad for this fight. Oh, here's a Techniture on Strago, who doesn't have any MP apparently, but he's going to get her first boss here. It's a white dragon! Uh-oh! It is one of the dragons we're looking for. However, when getting this white dragon, that means he's going to be permanently muted unless he can find a relic to remove the silence. I don't think he meant to mimic the double sour mouth there, though. Well, White Dragon is weak to being silenced. And unfortunately, that pearl, spear is not going to help very much, as that's going to heal the White Dragon, of course, because it is a pearl dragon. While Jexvrok still trying to get some levels on their party and break that shield. Again, those dragons are scaled. It looks like dragons and bosses are all mixed up. Missed that line there in the notes of the seed because there's so many complex things with the seed. But with this dragon fight here is going to be one step closer to also getting the Kefka shortcut as well. We need 4 dragons for that. And that is a dead Dargon for Kalar. Now I'm going to put 4 dragons in the bottom there just to note that, and again, that is for shortcut. That is not needed for Kefka Narsh, that is just for shortcut. And unfortunately, that was a dead check for them. No Esper off that, but does get a dragon. And now his entire party, I believe, is now muted when they go into battle now. Jexvrok is now they're giving each other a high five as he continues their looting. Fire Rod's not that bad of an item either. Ice Shield, that's going to be helpful. Do you find some Peace Rings, Dragon Boots? You're going to instantly buy those Dragon Boots because that is some pretty high damage. So we do have a Pearl Lance available, which Cyan can definitely equip. With High Vigor Cyan, that's definitely going to be their job for the remainder of this. Dragon Horn and Boots. We got a Dragoon all set here. Kalar going straight to the item shop in South Figaro. Not finding what they're looking for, though. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but there's actually a bridge across the water there in South Figaro. That's actually in the original game. Some people don't know that. We have 33 viewers in chat here. Let's shout out to all you. Go ahead and get in chat there. Ask questions, chat, you know, get involved. Looks like Jex is finally done looting here. Is going to be moving into the Coliseum. I guess we think this is the Coliseum 2 event, shout out, which we just had earlier tonight. So going to check out, see if he has any good items that they get a hold of. Now, he does have a Dragoon in the party with no other magic moves or anything like that or commands. So high chance they're just going to jump up in the air and just hit things. And with a Paladin shield, it's definitely well protected to try to get some good items out of this. Andrew Rancho, I'm just excited for pizza. Can't put out. Ooh, there's an offering there. Eland, that's not too bad. Offering would be very good if in case we get an ammo weapon or VK, something like that. Is this the Krusty Krab? Also, mozzarella sticks. Yeah, I'm sure you have the marinara dipping sauce with that too, Andrew, huh? But shout out to Taco Mage and Drulith there in chat. They just ran their race just about an hour ago for the Coliseum 2 event. Drulith won the head-to-head on that. To move on to our semifinal. Now Drulith will face Zenobian here in that semifinal in the ladder series. And the winner of that will move on to face Falcon Hit in the grand final. And we do have the bracket updated from that. Kind of small to see, but you got Zenobian and Drulith going to be duking it out there. And the flag set that they will be playing on will be Cyan's Katana. It'll be a plus 10 strength to start, plus 5 stamina, minus 5 magic power. Now, if they get the Coliseum win, which is what Jexvrok is doing, they will be getting an extra 20 strength, because Cyan's all about the physical damage. Cyan is vanilla. All the characters that these flags are based off of, you start with them in your party, and they are vanilla, so you will have sword tech, If you do the Doma Dream, you actually learn all 8 of those sword techs, so getting Doma Dream early, hopefully with some easy bosses, will be huge for the runners. Excluding of tools because, you know, he doesn't like technology. Permadeath. That's been the big topic of this fall flag set as Jexvrok gets another Coliseum win for another good item. He's going to continue in the Coliseum to keep getting these items. You got some more Hyper Disc. Oh, Fixed Dice. Slam Dancer. That's going to be another easy fight there for them. As long as you don't throw anything at them. But we have Paladin Shields, so we can heal off that as Kalar goes down into the pit of Shiva and Ifrit. I'm going to get a little save there first. But yeah, Permadeath, none of the buckets, inns, healing lakes, none of that's going to save your party. You only get 3 Phoenix Downs to start with. Life 1 and Life 2 are also going to be gone. Life 3 is the only salvation you're going to have. Ultros 4, with the Poom Bubba mascot of the Coliseum 2, for the fight for Kalar. But yeah, you only start with the 3 Phoenix Downs and Life 3. Phoenix actually is changed. Instead of having Life 1, 2.5, it's going to be Life 3.5. For its Esper casting. And all those Espers are original for their spells and bonuses. And the bosses are also going to be vanilla. So they're going to be in the vanilla locations and they're going to have their vanilla abilities. No free characters or Espers for the second week in a row. So no free lunch. So the Shadow Check at Gal's house, stuff like that, is going to automatically be an item. That'll be starting next week in the semifinal for the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Coliseum 2 event. Jexvrok is checking out the auction house there for some Espers. Put that in the back of the mind, see if there's anything going on with that. Kalar getting through that fight for Chupon and Ultros is going to get rewarded with, as soon as we talk to, oh, he's going to go up there for, he threw me off. Magicite, we got our first Magicite of the game, people. And it's not only any Magicite, it is the Unicorn, which has Fire 2 and Merton at ×5 plus 50 HP. Not too shabby. Jexvrok looking over his entire inventory after he battled in the Coliseum multiple times for some pretty good items. He's going to buy some earrings for their casters here. Kalar going into their second boss fight here is going to be going up against Senor Behemoth. Filio Dos is the opening salvo from them. Once again, auto mute is on for the party, and yet that's not going to work. The only way you're going to get rid of this mute status is you're going to have to equip a ribbon on your characters here. So ribbons are going to be very important to find here. I bet that might be a ring, or I think it's a white cape. I think also gets rid of the mute status as well, if I'm not mistaken. Big Huggins, first time chat, welcome to the party. Is it ever optimal to check the clock in Zozo where the chainsaw would be, or is that a waste of time? Well, there is a special quest there for the clock in the Zozo, so you can actually make that a special item as part of a quest series that you can go to. But the item that's actually there that would normally be a chainsaw is going to be a random item instead. But you can make it a quest to have it be a reward to doing that clock. And also here at the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, we can also have that clock be randomized. So it's not going to be vanilla time that it normally is in the game. You can actually make that time randomized so it could be completely different every single time. Now, to actually answer your question, is it a waste of time? Technically, yes. If it is not part of your normal flag sets like the Ultros League or in the Coliseum event, that is going to be a waste of time to do. Second Esper of the game for Kalar there on Carbuncle. Hopefully we get Garfield also here somewhere as Doulahan goes down for Jexvrok's casting that Grand Train. Because he is not muted. He did not face a white dragon from the Burning House. And the leader check, and they're going to be awarded with a dead check Catwood. Oy. No luck for Jexvrok here. Still sitting on 4 characters, no espers. Kalar sitting with their 3 characters. They did not get Cyan earlier on like Jexvrok did. Is going to go into the 3rd phase of Magitech Facility to face a couple more bosses here going down the tracks. Yes, the best animated video that we ever saw there on Super Nintendo, right there. Search the Skies coming out here with such a check. Now, this is a check that you can actually get randomly by just flying around in the world of Ruin. However, if you do have Setzer in your party, you can actually forcibly go into this check anytime you want. It is Welk, so this is actually going to be an easy boss for them to fight. Grand Train is going to hit the shell as well, so this will be a counter off this with a Megavolt. Not too bad damage, though. Ooh, Love of Magic on screen for Kalar. That's going to be run away as fast as you can. Oh, big damage coming out. This is why you run from the Love of Magics. And the fact that they are here on forced battles is bad news for Kalar. He's also going to have a Setzer down, which is also the healer. Oh no, it's another one. See what they're going to try to do, get out of this fight here. They're going to try to bring up Setzer to heal. Luckily, not enough MP to cast breaks. That's good. Oh, got an Esper off that check for Jexvrok. Maduin. Terra's dad there off that one. By the way, I'm flying solo. I'm doing the restream commentating and tracking. So if I go silent for a little while, because I need to save my voice a little bit, guys. Jex is doing exactly what I thought he would be doing, is going into the dream, and oh no, another dragon fight for Kalar. Stones coming out for all of them. They're going to be confused. Setzer goes down as well. That is their healer in the party with health. This is going to be a tough fight for Kalar for a little while here. And well, that will be Dragon number 2, which will help for the shortcut, but if he gets to this fight with Storm Dragon, that is actually going to be auto seizure, which means that his party will be constantly damaged over time for the rest of the seed. And I don't believe there's any counter to that other than putting on a Cure Ring or Marvel Shoes is the only way to get around that. French Vanilla Rexel here for Jexvrok. Setzer channeling his what he does best, rolling dice with Offering. Unfortunately, this is a bad boss to do it against because you have a 1 in 3 chance of actually hitting the boss. And the 2 guys in front actually respawn. So unlike Vargas and the Pooh Bears, if the Pooh Bears just disappear, the 2 little guys in the front are going to keep respawning. Cyan also is the Dragoon on Kalar's team, so pulling double duty here, doing the jumping and the healing. And that's a dead Dargan! So Dargan number 2 for Kalar, however, that means he's going to be seizured from now on. He will get a free heal before going into the fight, as Jexvrok also gets through their fight as well. And gets the Esper for them as Phoenix. Phoenix with life 3 and Merton. That's a pretty juicy Phoenix, actually. Oh, he didn't have to do... Kalar didn't actually have to do that. I believe you get a free heal before you get into this boss fight. You can just save and just run through. So unfortunately, did waste the sleeping bags, but might not have known that. 3rd Esper there for Kalar with Alexander, and he goes into Yamaro. Yeti Debin time. We just had the Yeti flags this week for Coliseum 2. Now we gotta fight the Yeti themselves. And Jexvrok's doing everybody's favorite puzzle in the dream. One thing to note about the Dragoon stuff here, you actually do more damage if you have a spear on you than if you have a sword. So actually making a Strago the Dragoon here with a spear would actually do a little bit more damage than what Setzer's doing with an actual sword. Technically. Looks like, speaking of Yamaro the character there for Jexvrok is going to be the reward for the other end of the dream here. So Yamaro is wants to be a player here from now on. Yeah, as Ranma say in chat, seizure is really bad for Fallen when it is. You actually can get seizured right from Kefka tier 1 as the Yamaro, the boss, goes down for Kalar's side. Yeah, you actually get seizure from tier 1 if you don't have Regen, which is why I like Karen so much, because if you, after tier 1, if you cast Karen, you can actually negate that seizure effect and turn it into just constant Regen effect. So that will actually help out with that. Which is another thing. I mean, if you have Kieran as the Esper, casting it every time will also counter that seizure effect for the entire party. Jexvrok's going to go into the boss fight here. It's going to be Ultros Numero Uno, the easiest Ultros. Once again, they have Jexvrok has not had the bad luck of not facing any dragons yet, so kind of got lucky there. So they're not muted or constantly taking damage. Nope to the Yeti, but this is not the Yeti seed. We're not going to be raged or anything for the whole party, so that's going to be a no, sir. We do not want you in our party today. Oh, and we do not learn any sword techs off that either, so Yeti on board and an Esper on board with the Kieran that I was just talking about that counteracts the Regen effect with haste 2 and Regen on top of that with the actual spell. Kalar is going into the belly of the beast with the go-go check here. Now they will find Cyan at the end of this. As Jexvrok heads up to Narsh World of Ruin, that's going to be the Yeti check. There's actually 2 checks here, because you actually have to get through Tritosh before you get to the Yeti boss fight. And there's also a dragon fight here on the way. Again, dragons actually penalize you, but if you do get 4 dragons, you do get the shortcut of Kefka, its tower. So it's a little bit of risk-reward there. Get penalized, but get to Kefka's tower a little faster. Once again, we're watching Jexvrok and Kalar MacBran. If you want to follow our runners, there is their Twitch streams right there. And for some reason it didn't fire for me. I'm sorry. In chat. There's mine. It worked for mine. I am the Restreamer. I am Saberwolf. You can follow me on Saberwolf Gaming on Twitch. Also, Saberwolf18 on YouTube as well. Jexvrok is going to take that dragon fight. It's going to fight... Oh, but it's not dragon because they're crisscross applesauce mixed up. So it's exited through Stoogers, which is not a good boss fight. This is actually going to be a tough boss fight for them. You got to kill that top Stooge first because they do res and heal the other Stooges. And unfortunately, all those dice rolls do not get targeted on them. So Life 2 comes out. There's the re-res that I was just mentioning, bringing back the boss back to full health. There it goes. Now I got it working. See, I multitask. So, picking up where we left off, 5 characters, 3 espers there for Jexvrok and for Kalar MacBran's side. 4 characters, 3 espers. They did pick up that Cyan. They are going to be a member of the team. Only one person learning spells, though, because of the mute status, though. Leaders are... oh, Snake Eyes. That's a rough roll. Leader's going to be the... oh, come on. Okay, this is the easiest boss to fight in the game, and Setser's just making it easier. Just making it harder for herself, rather. And once again, Kalar searches the skies for Welk. We already know this is actually a dead check. This is actually going to be Cathood. So no further gain there. There we go. Those are the rules we're looking for, Setzer. Ooh, problem with a Dragoon with Dragon Horn. You are not going to always hit the head of Welk. You're actually going to hit the body sometimes. Another Esper for Jex. That's Esper number 4 for them. 5 characters. They have a decent lead right now. Bahamut. Pretty decent Esper, too. They're going to run back and save off that one. Once again, Kalar, the reason why their entire party is muted because they actually fought a white dragon. Of course, in this flag set that they're running, you get penalized for fighting dragons. White dragon mutes your entire party. They also fought storm dragon, which is why they're all taking damage on top of that. But Welk is a pretty easy boss, so hopefully we can get through this with no problems. As Jexvrok dives into the Yeti Cave, this is going to take a shortcut through the extra drop hole in the ceiling. There goes down Welk. But again, like I just said, this will be a dead check Cathood. Oh, sorry, no, it's an Esper. My bad. What am I thinking? That was somewhere else. I heard Cathood was leader boss. That's a mad one. I'm sorry. This is why we need ceiling cat tracking. This keeps me in line. Oy. Oh, spicy chicken in the Yeti pit. Spicy chicken's in chat if you got it. Now, spicy chicken is susceptible to stop themselves. So yeah. Hopefully we have stop, which we do not. So we're just going to have to kind of push our way through this. Now, spicy chicken does stop a character. He'll cast actually Blester afterwards, I believe it is. And will instantly kill them. Which, the cool thing about that is, if you have a stop character and that stop character has something like a memento ring, the spicy chicken will keep casting Blaster on that target, and memento ring prevents them from instantly dying. So they'll just keep doing that non-stop over and over again. You lose the character because they're stopped, so they're not doing anything, but they're actually doing something by just making spicy chicken just do the same thing over and over again. And that is a dead spicy chicken. As Kalar does their dive into the dream. And we already know that's going to be 2 Espers and a Yeti for this reward. And because we did fight a statue, we actually get auto haste. So now Jexvrok actually gets rewarded with auto haste on top of the fight and gets a jump tools Gao off that fight as well. In an Pearl Lance or Aura Lance. So they get an Aura Lance, Gao, and auto haste on their entire team for the remainder of this race. Jexvrok has gotten all the luck, while Kalar MacBran's gotten all the bad luck with the 2 dragons. "46 viewers. We're loving that. By the way, if you miss any of our action, if you want to watch all our VODs from the entire Coliseum event, check out our YouTube. We actually are coming up on 1,000 subscribers there on our YouTube. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will actually get monetized and other benefits for our community. And again, any money that we make is going to go straight to donations for other charities. We don't keep any of that. So please subscribe to our YouTube at FF6 Worlds Collide on YouTube.com. And you catch all our action, all the VODs and like that right there in one place. Again, with this fight with Rexel, again, when you have Dragon Horn and offerings and stuff like that, this makes this fight quite difficult as a big bolt of lightning takes out half the party. Almost 3 members of the party. Jexvrok is actually doing the Gao check on Search the Veldt for Gao. You need a dried meat. Now, I did see dried meat earlier. They did pick that up. So should be able to get through this fight. Again, you also have to have 3 characters in your party for room to have Gao get added into your party. On top of the dried meat. And there we go. Right on the first try. Oh, it's a hungry ghost. And we get another Esper. Fenrir, of all things. That's our commas protection for K3. Oh. And that's also a dead Rexel as well. Let's make sure I'm up to date on all my tracking, and I am. Well, it would be for the second. Kalar's going to get a couple rewards here off this as he gets Phoenix Esper off of that check. There's 2 characters behind here. Not sure where Jexvrok is going to go next, as Kalar does see the Yeti as one of the rewards for the end of the dream. He's going to go into South Figaro Cave? I'm confused. Oh, no, Cave. I'm sorry. He's in the Cave in the Veldt, World of Balance, which takes you to the Serpent's Trench, which is Gao's other check. Forced combat fights again, so this will give him a little bit of levels, but no boss here, so no threat of a dragon popping up here. Does take a little bit, because you're going to have to just swim this trench for some boss fights and all. Or not boss fights, but just regular fights, rather. Also, with the ×6 gold here that we get gained on these fights, we're actually going to make a lot of money for Jex's side for these fights, which could propel him to go back to the auction house. Maybe try to get a couple Espers off that, doing it that way. So that could be helpful. While we got a moment, don't forget, Ultros League Season 3 starts in just 1 short week away, starting January 28th. Whether you're new to the game or you have never played in a league before, or you're a returning league player because this is Season 3, you won't want to miss out on your chance to play some fun races and meet some cool people in the community. Info, rules, and sign up can be found on www.ultrosleague.com. The End of Dream boss here with Ultros, and ooh, it hides Gigas. That's actually going to give us a lot of experience on top of the gold I was just mentioning before for Jexvrok. And these dice coming out is definitely going to get the kill with the quad 9 there. So cool experience off of this. Yeah, Taco Mage. Yeah, now you got something else to play for. You got Ultras League in a week. I need to start practicing too. I've been stuck in Potion forever. Yeti and an Esper there for our Kalar MacBran. 5 characters, 6 Espers for them. Jexvrok should be coming near the end of the Serpent Trench here. Sorry, this wasn't much action to commentate on because of just waiting for the progression of the train there on Dream and the Serpent's Trench, so there wasn't really much to commentate on. But Jexvrok is at the end of Serpent's Trench. It is not a character. It is an Esper. Starlet there for them. 6 Espers for them. Again, we're looking for 6 characters, 10 Espers to get to unlock Kefka's Tower. The reason why there's a 4 on the dragon, that's actually for shortcut. 4 dragons is for shortcut. But if you do get a dragon, you do get a penalty attached to your party for the remainder of the run. Which unfortunately Kalar has met 2 of them. But that also means he's 2 steps closer to doing a shortcut. Oh, right after you do Seed of the Week. Yeah, so if you want to join us in our Discord, again, ff6wc.com/Discord, every single week we have like a little competitive, like week-long async. What we call asyncs is that it's a race room that's open up for the entire span of time for this instance of the week. And everybody can jump into that race and try to all run the same exact seed that week, so everybody can see how their times are against each other. It's open to as many people as they want to jump into. Yeah, we call it Seed of the Week, and it's really fun. And there's actually a tournament called Tournament of the Month, which is based on these Seed of the Weeks and other crazy Coliseum flags and everything. It is a 3-week-long tournament where everybody does a open async of a seed for the week. And then the top 16 players get divided into 4 groups. The winner of those 4 groups in that following week will go on to a head-to-head for the Tournament of the Month final. And the winner of the Tournament of the Month will pick the actual flag set that will be done the next month. So a little bit of incentive there for actually winning the tournament. And Jexvrok is once again back in the Coliseum, channeling the Coliseum 2 event that I just mentioned, dealing with the gambler with the fixed dice here, taking out every single pony he can find. Gives some more Dragoon gear, so maybe changing his offering fixed dice user into an actual jumping fixed dice user. Meanwhile, Kalar is hitting the shops, trying to do some retooling of his party. Really wants to find a white cape, really. Or a ribbon, is what they're really looking for. Oh, but is actually going to do a falling house check here, using that wire remove to get around the effect here. Now, another thing about wire remove, there's other checks that we can do that wouldn't normally be on the tab. We also can actually get to the monster in the boxes here. Now, the kid's not going to be there, so we're not going to be able to complete the actual checks for this. But another one that with the wire remove on that we can do is actually Magitech Facility. We actually do the entire Magitech Facility by getting through that and by getting past there, which we saw earlier with Kalar, because we don't need Celeste to actually do it. And that's how we actually were able to do the lock checks earlier, because we can just wire remove the locked door to actually be able to open them. Another one would actually be Mount Zozo, but since we have Cyan, that doesn't matter because we actually already get the check for that. And those are the little goofy things that you can do with wire remove as well. You can actually hamper yourself with wire remove and get stuck, and you actually have to reset if you delete certain characters or monsters and such. But specifically for Kalar, they're really just doing this for the looting of the Fallen House, really. And was rewarded with an Excalibur out of one of those chests. And Jexvrok, on that note, does do the Mount Zozo for Saiyan that I mentioned before, and is actually going to use the Y remove just to bypass the fact that you got to buy the 1,000 GP for the Rust Raid. And it's just going to use that Y remove just to get through that door anyways. Yeah, Kalar is on a mission to find white capes or ribbons. Really wants to get rid of this mute status. And unfortunately, he's not having much luck. As we find an Edgar at the end of Mount Zozo. Character number 7. Now, there is a Y remove effect for Edgar. Now, if you go underground in between fights there, you can unlock the door underground with the castles underground to actually get to the throne room from that direction. So it kind of bypasses the game a little bit. And that's a vanilla Edgar, actually. And he's going to go right straight into the Edgar checks. Starting with the South Figure Cave Roll to Ruin check. Kalar's a little bit behind on the checks, but notably because mostly due to the fact that they are hindered by those 2 dragons with being muted and constantly damaged from the quote-unquote seizure effect, which I hate using that term, but that's what it's called. Gonna go to Gao's dad's house. Unfortunately, there's no check there right now, but there is a merchant that could have a relic, but doesn't have what he's looking for. So the search continues, unfortunately, for MacBran. He's going to talk to the loser kid now. Still can't find it. Anybody in chat seen the seen what we're trying to find with the white capes and the ribbons? Because I haven't seen it. But in the meantime, Jexvrok is going to find an imp there in the engine room of South Figaro Castle, and you're going to find an Atma weapon. Not Toilet Atma, it's the easier Atma of the 2. But again, scaled, so Atma weapon can know some abilities that wouldn't normally use, and they could have. But Grand Train and Fixed Dice really doing work here for Jex. His damage is definitely online as the Atma weapon goes down. Jumping back to the World of Balance in G-Door, still nothing. A Merit Award is not what you're looking for. Merit Award allows you to equip all items. I mean, this is going to be frustrating for Kalar. I mean, it really has to be. That was Esper number 7 there for Jexy. No. Okay, Jexvrok is doing the second half of the aggro checks. Has not checked the throne room yet, but he's going to do the second half, which is going to be the ancient castle. In the vanilla game, this is actually where you turn Odin into Raiden as the Esper. But in the Worlds Collide, those are actually two separate ones. Kalar's like, everybody get out of my way with a wide remove. Hallelujah, it's a white cape! There it is! That gets rid of our mute status. This is what we've been looking for the entire time! It was in World of Balance. Oh, and that's a frozen log. That's character number 8 for Jex. He's got to catch them all. Got to catch them all. He's going to avoid the dragon there, which might not be a dragon. It could be just boss. And not even bothering with the chest down in the ancient cave, because again, he has his damage online. He doesn't have to worry about any more item searching. Which unfortunately Kalar has been doing for the past about 10 minutes, trying to find those white capes to permanently remove the mute status from his entire team. And unfortunately he's going to head to leader, which is actually a dead check cat hood. Immediately slapping that on the Strago. Jexy's probably going to do the throne room after he gets out of this engine room here. Check to see who is residing on the throne of South Figaro, Figaro Castle, rather. I do appreciate 50 viewers here on the FF6 Worlds Collide channel with this Saturday night community race. I'm flying solo as Saberwolf here, doing the restream commentary and tracking as we have Dullahan on screen for Kalar. We already saw this check earlier with Jexy. We have Jexvrok versus Kalar MacBran here with a really crazy seed. If you find a dragon, you get penalized. If you find a statue boss, you get rewarded. And the bosses and dragons are completely mixed up. And Imp is residing on the throne with Ice Shield, so that is technically a dead check there. If you have any questions or comments, you go ahead and throw them in the chat there. We will try to answer them the best as possible. We have a lot of members of our community down there in the chat, and I'll try to also answer them the best I can on stream. We also have a great community that you can go to at fs6wc.com/discord, and you can jump on there. We have a beginner section there, so you can ask your question there. It'll probably get answered in about 10 minutes. Also, shout out again of the alternate overworld map there that both our runners are using. I gotta put that on mine. I gotta figure. Somebody help me with that, because I want to put that in there, because I'm partially colorblind. It's hard to see the map sometimes. Jex is going to say, like, okay, well, I already did, like, the other lock check because we do have Y remove, as we do see the dead check cat hood for Kalar, so the bad news just keeps coming for them. And don't stop coming. They bend to the rules because they have Y remove. And soon they'll be hitting the ground running. Yeah, I know. It's Saturday night. We do a lot of musical stuff on here. Again, with the Zozo check here, again, because of the Y remove, we just technically do not need the Rust Raid, or he's going to go grab it anyways. But you technically, with the Y remove, you can unlock the door with it. Even if you don't have Cyan in the party. Once again, Jex is going back into the South Figaro Cave, this time in the World of Balance for the lock version of the check with a tunnel armor. Double checking his party for their setup here. Probably hit the pawn there, just get a quick kill. Nope, we already feel healed. We don't need any healing. We're going to go straight into the boss check here, and we get a number 24. What an easy boss here. see if Kalar does the dragon here. Now again, dragons and bosses are mixed up, so it might not necessarily be a dragon. But he's going to try for the dragon here, because there he has 2 dragons already. Could get a shortcut. Oh god, it's Doomgaze. Oh boy. Math check here for level 5, and we get... Oh god, 3 members of the party down. He did not save before the fight right here. So he's going to have to try to bring up the party at this situation. Oh, goodness gracious. And it's another character for Jex, as he does his best impression of Pokemon, finding a Moogle. This is the only thing that's keeping Kalar in the race, is the fact that Jex can't get any Espers. He's just getting characters. But he's going to take that Moogle. He's going to go back to Narsh World of Balance. Now he has 2 checks he can do. He can do the Lone Wolf Mog check, and he can do the Kefka and Narsh with this. And because he saved right there, you can nope out of both if both of these happen to be a character as well. As Kalar having some bad luck with Doomgaze there. Getting doomed to top of everything else. Might have to reset back outside of Zozo off this arrow. Because don't forget, he's also has seizure on some of his on his entire party, which means you're constantly taking damage. We see Gao up there in the hole. We already know that it was Gao off of the Yeti check there, so no spoiler there. Kalar desperately trying to dig themselves out of the Doomgaze hole here. Doomgaze, there's 3 phases, multiple phases of Doomgaze. He has the wind phase of just damaging. He has the doom phase, and yeah, this is the wind phase again. And it's really rough to get out of. It's kind of like the Meteo. Another character for Jex. Now finding Terra. And when Kalar's going to reset out of that after that Doom. Let's go have to try again. Didn't save, unfortunately, before the fight, so he'll be outside of Zozo, I believe. So he'll have to walk back in. Oh, no, he's outside of Leader, actually. Oh, he's going to do... Well, it's a cat hood, so really didn't have to do this one again, but... He's going to do it anyways. Again... Did save Terra, didn't get the item. Jex has all but 4 characters now. Debating on who they want for the last extra character here. Ooh, that's a Blitz Terra. Which, if you can find a Brain Train, that's going to be pretty good stamina there. It looks like Gao's going to be the new best member of the team. I mean, if I was Kalar in this situation, I would also be tilted. I mean, unfortunately, this fight, we already know it's a dead check, but he's doing it anyways. Cat Hood's a decent item, though, because it does get you a lot of money when you do get wins, so it is a good item. But yeah, after spending over 10 minutes trying to find the white cape or a ribbon to get rid of this silent status, our entire party, I wouldn't blame them if they're real tilted at this point. Tunnel Armor is the boss here for Kefka Narsh. Very easy fight once again, as 3 of the 4 members of Jexvrok's team is Dragoons, thanks to all the Coliseum battles and just 1 jump and done. The reason why they're all muted and seizured, Miss McKay, is because of the flag set they have here. They had it set up that if they fight a dragon, face and fight a dragon, they could get condemned, auto seizured, reflect, slowed, muted, sleep, imaged. Well, it's if they fight a negative 10 vigor, forget 10 spells, stuff like that if they actually fought a dragon. And the dragons and bosses are actually mixed. So, whoop. But that's why they have the all-mutant seizure there, because Kalar did face a white dragon and what was the other dragon? The storm dragon. So that's why they have those two conditions they have to contend with. They were randomly put in against the boss checks. Well, Jex avoided those two checks, so he did not face those two dragons, so he hasn't had to face those issues. And I'm going to figure out what the heck my dog is doing. This is the new Wubby, so hold on. Alright guys, we are back. Crises are all averted now. Woo! Okay, that was kind of crazy. Alright, let's get caught up here. We have Jexvrok with still having 10 characters. They're at 9 espers now, so let's count up the 9 espers for them. In Kalar, they're still at 5 characters. Did pick up an esper there, so number 7 esper for them while it was gone. Yeah, when you have a brand new dog and a baby, things can get out of hand. And unfortunately, I'm flying solo here for the Restream team. So that is what it is. Oh, Kalar is actually going to do Tower of the Magi here. Kind of crazy. And I think Jex, I'm not sure what Jex is doing. I think they might be trying to... Is this the beta? I gotta ask him. I gotta ask him in the race chat if this is beta. Oh, they're doing the wealth check. Which happens to be Kefka, so I guess if Jex kills Kefka, I guess the game's over, right? Kalar did peek against the Magi Tower, is now going to do the rando of the rando of the rando, is to try to get the coral and Ebbett's Rock. You need 22 coral to feed to that chest that just kicked them back away in order to go on. Oh, Jex fought a gold dragon, and Kalar killed a red one. Oh boy. So what does that mean for our group now that they get for statuses? Well, by killing the... Who was it? The gold for Jex. Jex now has... He forgot 10 spells. So the 10 spells he might have spent trying to learn on the Espers, he has now forgotten them. And the red dragon that Kalar got... They lost 10 vigor. So their strength went down by 10. Which doesn't really hurt much. I mean, it might hurt the actual spear dragoons, but fixed dice Setzer didn't really hurt them very much. Looks like Jex is... Does he have 10 Espers? He does have 10 Espers. Oh, I missed that last Esper there. So he's got Kefka unlock. Let's give him the little Kefka unlock animation, shall we? Woohoo! Turn back for 2 seconds. We got Kefka Tower action going on. Number 128 for Kalar here. Interesting thing is that Kalar actually only needs one more dragon here, and they will get the shortcut to jump ahead of Jex, because Jex does not have shortcut. And it does take you a good about 7 minutes sometimes, 6 or 7 minutes to get through the tower. So he still has a good, 5 or 6 minutes he could catch up here. But he still needs a character, still needs 3 Espers. This Jex found plenty of characters to satisfy both of them. I will say Jex's audio is stuttering, so I will switch to that if and when he gets to the Kefka fight. But we're just going to keep the audio on Kalar's side for now. I was talking to Jexy before our Coliseum race, and he was looking at trying to get a new computer. So good luck to them trying to get a new computer. It'd be great. And thank you, Orion Gaming, for helping out in the chat, trying to catch me up on all the action while I was gone. Appreciate that. Oh, we find our character. We find Shadow. Something we haven't seen yet. Another health. Great, we have another healer. Okay. But it does give us quite a few quick checks there with Shadow, including Floating Continent. So that could be something. And we haven't seen what Floating Continent has in store. First switches there for Jex, getting that left side through. Sorry, not the left side, the center side through. Now we're going to be working on the right lane now. Right lane does have the extra boss here. You do have to fight the Inferno check here. Yeah, I like the pupper. Yeah, Puppier and the 3-year-old both had some issues I had to deal with, yeah. Brand new puppy, we got him only 2 weeks ago. We saved him from the animal control officer, or the pound, really. He, as far as we could tell, he was a 2-year-old COVID puppy dump. So it's probably somebody got as a puppy 2 years ago as when COVID hit, and they ditched him when they went back to work. So we kind of saved him. He's actually a Labrador Basset Hound mix. So he's really adorable. Anyways, we got a fight here, the infernal fight here for Dadaluma. Pretty easy fight there with Gao with jump already. So all you needed really was the dragon horn, and actually can equip like hyper wrist to increase the damage even further, and actually being able to use the spears is a really good damage. Yeah, the crazy thing is when they posted it, it was right before Christmas too, is when it happened. And when they posted it, there was so many people trying to get on it. We were actually the 4th family to submit a application to try to get the pupper, and the first two decided that they didn't want him after all, and the third one saw the dog and decided, oh, he's too big, I don't want him. And the animal control officer, who we know, was hoping it was going to be us, but they had to go through the process, and it fell to us at the fourth in the draft. Grand Train is really pushing since now we luckily have some white capes, we can actually push the Grand Train out, and we also survived the math check there from the level 3 Doom from Doomgaze, as we now push the Doomgaze fight that we lost earlier. This is pretty much revenge. I mean, you didn't have to do this because you knew it wasn't a dragon, but this is kind of more of like a revenge fight here for Kalar. As Jex is actually in the Kefka's Tower. Now on the switches of Kefka's Tower, so this is the point where the shortcut would be if Kalar was able to find that the 4th dragon. Jex is now doing the Guardian fight here. This is the first of 4 bosses. Magimaster! Oh boy. I don't know if we have Berserk or Muddle. Or Berserk, rather. It is Berserk. We don't. So this is going to be a tough fight for Jexvrok, which all of them have to fight through. But if we do kill Magimaster, there is actually a bounty reward for that quest as he resets out of that. If you kill Magimaster, you learn 10 spells. So the 10 spells he lost, you'll get 10 spells randomly back. Fixed dice is the reward off that Doomgaze. Okay, so a second set of fixed dice for Kalar. That's kind of cool. I appreciate that. Yes, he has a very good home now. Also, low level 40s there for Jex, so he's right in the butter range. The max cap of levels is actually 42. And having all these characters and espers, he's definitely hit that level 42. As Kalar gets their 7th character, in Edgar. Of course, we know that Edgar leads into only 1 esper in the engine room. And they also get a dead check on the throne and lock in the ancient cave. So he will not be finding their 10 espers this direction. Maybe we'll only find 1, but not the other 3 he needs. Or they need. By the way, if you want to run your own races and join these community races, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure you have a Twitch account that you can stream on and have a decent streaming speed. And join us in Discord at fs6wc.com/Discord, and you can join us in these community races too. And we have other events coming. We might have a Moogle's First Tournament Part 2. That might be coming up in the near future. That's a brand new tournament for newcomers only, or for those that are in the lower maybe tiers of the Ultras League that try to gain some skills and get coaching from one of our more senior pro, I guess you could say, runners of our community. You get coaching throughout the tournament, and then the very last round in the finals, the 4-way final, you actually try to go out on your own without the coaching. So you get coaching throughout the tournament with a helper, and then to try to increase your skills and have more members of the community run these really crazy flag sets. Jex versus Magimaster Part 2. Oh, that's a Moogle with Sword Tech. Unfortunately, Sword Tech was not learned from doing the dream sequence from Cyan. That should be new for tournament. I would love a new Moogle's first tournament. I think I'm actually going to participate in it because I consistently finish 32 or worse in everything I do. Like, I barely qualified for the Coliseum at 32nd position, only because 2 people were doing some random other things. That's how I joined it. But I should have been in the pit. And I mean, I'm been in Potion for multiple seasons in Ultras League, so I'm thinking about joining in the Moogle's first tournament when it comes back around. Well, Takamaze, you almost won the entire winner's side of the bracket of the Coliseum too. I think you're fine on Moogle's first tournament. I think you know what you're doing. Anyways, Magimaster goes down for Jexvrok as Kalar does go through the Edgar checks. He is on the first one there. This will be an Esper, which will bring him to 8 Espers. Ultros numero 3 for Jex on this statue boss. And there goes down Ultros as easily as pie. I mean, it is one of the easiest bosses in the game, unfortunately. Kalar is going to find Atma Weapon here. It's not a terrible boss, even though we do have the very dramatic music going. It's not the worst of the dramatic music bosses. But Grand Train should help us through this fight. Jexy moving the Paladin shield around that we got earlier in the seed to help with the protection here. Of course, Setzer is being the biggest damage dealer of the group here with the fixed dice rolling. And statue number 2 will be Inferno, Vanilla Inferno, actually. French Vanilla, rather. Factually accurate sass? I mean, that's apparently not fake news. It's real news. So, I'm just saying. I mean, technically, you finished 4th in this Coliseum 2 tournament, so tied for 4th. And that's a dead Atma weapon for Kalar. Unfortunately, Gogo not getting experience off this because this is a decent experience XP boss with 27,000 XP there. Luckily, Setzer is airborne because Jexvrok spent all that time in the Coliseum to get all the jumping power they needed. So Setzer will definitely be in the sky more often than not, but that is a dead Inferno, so that's another statue down. And one more step closer to KT. And Kalar getting his psychedelic on with one of his characters having poison condition. Disco fever. Yeah, we'll try to get some healing. If there is a place you can sleep, which is actually where Kalar is going. You can actually go up in this room here and get a free rest, like a tent, and actually heal your entire party, so... It's not that far off the beaten path you have to get that, so it does take a little time to do it, but at least it's free. Last statue here for Jexvrok here. Before going and face Kefka, it is Piranhas, a time-wasting boss. This is another easy boss to fight. Whichever problem is with this one is it's just going to take a while to get to the actual boss fish you want. Kalar is going to go to the throne room and is fortunately going to find an ice shield. It's a decent item, but not what you're looking for. We need espers. I'm behind their esper count. They are up to 8 espers, by the way. And having Edgar in the top of the party is going to get our discount double check there from the 2 merchants here in the castle. Still shooting the fish in the barrel for Jex here. 9,000 damage bolts. There's a Rizopraz we're looking for. And actually healing Edgar off that frozen. But again, because of all the fishes before, that kind of shares the total health pool of the boss for the fight. So really all you need is just one decently big hit and it goes down. But that is the last statue for Jexy as he's going to go in to face Kefka themselves. Like I said before, I will be changing the audio to them when they get to that point. So. And unfortunately for Kalar, as I mentioned earlier, they are going to go to the ancient castle. Unfortunately, this is going to give them a lock as a reward. So, buckler, wow. That's a terrible item. Inspector, rough. Oh, he left all of his other characters on the on the save part. That's interesting. Anyways, like I said, Jexvrok is going to hit the switches here for Kefka's tower. So we'll switch to his audio here as he faces Kefka. And for those who are new to Worlds Collide or FF6 in general, I will try to explain each tier as we go along to explain how best to fight the tiers, some basically background about the tier, and etc., etc. But first and foremost, of course, we have to face the crazy god of magic that he himself dubbed the when he moved the statues at the end of the World of Balance to become a god of magic. I try not to do that voice too much because it does hurt my throat after a while. But basically, it's the Dragoon plus Grand Train Wizard. That's pretty much Jex's team here. But starting off with the tier, we have K1, Kefka Tier 1. This is the Judgment tier. We have the Open Hand or Long Arm that's closest to us. They're susceptible to instant kill and break, doom, etc. So Cyan just took care of that. Head is actually weak to fire. And you want to kill that before you kill the Fist, which is the furthest arm away, left arm or fist. Because if you leave Head up last, they will cast Quake on your entire party and pretty much almost kill all of them. It's a very high damaging attack. So the order of operation is to kill Long Arm with the instant kill, shoot fire at the head, and then kill Fist last. Fist will counter with a high damaging attack, but he should be able to save from it. We do have decent enough HP, so we should be good. Yeah, how does Grubhub get to Kefka on the tower? I have no idea. I would hope Kefka actually orders food for the previous tier so they can eat too. Maybe that's why. He buys food for everybody. And maybe it's a reward. Maybe it's a perk. But yeah, Jexvrok, he is way ahead on levels, way ahead on damage. That was an easy fight, so we're going to blow through these layers pretty darn quick. We're at K2. This is a four-headed beast here. We got Tiger there in the front, the white kind of cat feline thing. They are weak to Ice 3. They do a lot of high damaging attacks. Bluey, or hits, sits on top of their head there in the front. They deal 10 hits when they die. They actually are weak to stop, so you can actually cast stop on them multiple times throughout the fight, and they basically sit there do nothing. Right in the middle with the feminine form in the eye of circles there in the middle, that is called tools. They actually are weak to instant death, not break, just instant death. So Raiden, Odin, Doom, X-Zone, stuff like that. And Cyan just missed there. And last but not least in the back there that was just targeted there is Magic. They're actually weak to, of all things, mute or silence. So they basically sit there and cast spells and nothing happens because they're muted. Similar to what happened to Kalar earlier in the fight, early in the seed, when he was muted. Yeah, buying food for all 49 people and statues. Yeah, but when you're the god of magic and you, like, decimate towns and stuff, I'm pretty sure he has, like, a tax or fee or something to pay for all that. So I wouldn't worry about that. Fundraising must be pretty easy when you have the rare judgment to kill those who don't pay. Once again, I want to shout out our runners again, Jexvrok and Kalar MacBran. Those are their channels if you want to follow them on there. I am of course Saberwolf. You can follow me on Saberwolf Gaming, 2 M's in gaming. Also, I'm on YouTube at Saberwolf18. His attacks: Fallen One, Goner, Revenger, Havoc Wing, Order Dominus. 5,000 HP on Cyan. That's crazy. Kalar did go through Ancient Castle, so I'm assuming they did pick up locks. I'm just going to add a lock to their thing there. I'm going to double check his tracker. Yes, he did pick up lock. Yes, he's on 8 characters and 8 espers. So we haven't missed anything on Kalar's side. Oh, I was going to go to Phoenix Cave, which I don't think we went to, so this will be something new. He actually might do Dragon here just for shortcut, to see where we're going. Our character, by the way, our runners for all these seeds and stuff, they do not know where the other person is or what point they are in the race. About 90 minutes in, you are getting a little worried of where the other person is at this point, but yeah, neither person knows where the other one is. By the way, the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide is constantly growing and changing. We actually have a new update coming out soon. It's currently in beta. In a little sneak peek, Mog gets another check added to his repertoire. So follow our Discord to keep information on that and when that beta is going to be released. We're at the K3. K3 is Girl and Sleep. Now this is when Kefka rearranged the world and took a nap. Similarly to what happened in the Bible, I guess, with God and all. So kind of similarities there when you go throughout the lore of this thing. But anyways, girls, the head of Girl, which is the head of Goddess, is floating in the back. They basically absorb all elements and they try to heal both of them, while Sleep in the front. The more damage you deal to him, which means the lower the health he gets, the more aggravated he gets, which means the more damage he does. And when he gets to a point, he will cast Meteo non-stop on your party, which we call just getting yourself into the hole. Sometimes just healing Sleep. You might have to heal Sleep just to get out of that hole in order to survive. Casting Fenrir and Gollum is extremely important in this tier of the Kefka's Climb. because when you do kill Sleep, he will cast Calmness once or twice, which will instantly kill a party member. It is a physical attack, which Golem and Fenrir will automatically help your party member avoid. Now, I think he did way too much damage here. Ooh, Train comes out, so he will not be able to cast Fenrir here, because his character will actually be muted and blind here, with a Meteor coming on top of that. So this is the hole that you can dig yourself into that can cause a lot of problems. Echo Screen on Gal comes out, so Gal, I think, does have the Fenrir Esper. So you want to try to cast Fenrir as soon as possible here to negate the impending damage here. Also remove Silence on Strago because they are the spellcaster. They're not one of the 3 Dragoons. Oh, it's going to cast Starlit for a little bit of healing here on the party. And here comes the damage to try to take out the rest of Kefka here. And there's K3. And now finally we reach to the top of the Kefka Tower climb. This is cave for Kefka himself. Will be descending from the heavens, the god of magic. Oh, goodness gracious. Meanwhile, on Kalar's side, we do find a goddess. Which actually has a reward while Kefka descends from the heavens here. For killing and fighting goddess, you will actually get auto image. So the Fenrir effect on your team will be permanent. So he won't even need to cast Fenrir. He'll actually have image on his entire party if he gets through this fight. But anyways, going back to the Jexvrok on Kefka, the first thing that Kefka will do is Fallen One. Now, there is a chance that you do enough damage to him to he actually skips that ability, which could be possible with the amount of damage we're dealing here. Fallen One does take your entire party down to 1 HP, and judging from the amount of speed and fight and damage we're doing, yeah, we got blown right past that. He's already into the Charge Up, which is the Garner ability, and that when he's in this ability, he cannot counter with any of those Hyperdrives or Claws or Ultimas at all. And he just stays in this Charge Up until you dump all the damage top of him instantly, and you should be able to kill him. Which, boom, boom, right there. 141-27, kapow, kapow, Kefka is dead. We'll see if Jexy wants to jump in the chat here with me as Kalar continues to progress through their side of the race. Does get to the end of Phoenix Cave to find an Esper from a merchant. There'll be Esper number 9 for them, Phantom. So that goddess was actually the dragon there. He got rewarded from that because he actually gets that instant image constantly throughout the rest of the run. So a little bit of good luck coming Kalar's way finally after fighting 3 dragons. But here we got Jexy in the chat. GG, buddy.
GG's.
Yeah, yo, we were talking earlier about doing community races. I wanted to live up to that and give you a community race tonight.
Excellent. I'm glad that that you took time out of your schedule to have it done.
You know what? I am home for medical leave for next 2 weeks, so I'll be kicking around. So I am available. But talk about, so where did this flag set come from? So many quests, so many benefits and negatives for depending on what you're facing. Where did this come from?
The idea actually stemmed off of a chaos seed that that I ran a few months back. Basically what ended up happening with the Chaos Seed was dragons ended up getting mixed. And one of the objectives was fight Gold Dragon, and this happens to you. And Gold Dragon was in KT. I'm just like, and it was a negative effect. It was not a good one either.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And,
Oh, go ahead.
And when that happened, I'm just like, you know what? This is a good idea to like have to avoid dragons and just and pray that they don't show up in KT because bad things could happen. Well, I didn't want to do just dragons giving you bad things. So I decided to put in high-end boss fights that gave you bonuses as well. So, spicy chicken, Doom Goddess, the usual stuff.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Kalar, they did face a white dragon.
Or okay, yeah, that's why. Part of the reason why I did the Coliseum run is just like, ooh, ribbon. All right, let's get one of those for backup. Just in case I run into a bad dragon. I got fortunate with the only dragon I ran into being Gold Dragon, which was lose 10 spells, so it wasn't such a big deal.
You also know Yeti. Oh my goodness. My mute is got mixed up between the two. That was weird. So Kalar seeing that Gao is behind Yeti, so now he knows Yeti is dead to them as well. They're actually heading up to Kefka Nars / Mog, the Mog Thief Check. Unfortunately, that one's going to be dead as well because that's going to be Terra. So
But
they're following your footsteps of doing Pokemon with the characters here.
let me see. Andrew Ratchaw has a question here. Hey, Jex, do you think Kefka's gonna order a Pizookie, or do you think that the name is still too silly for him to entertain, despite being a clown and all?
Yeah, Andrew was wondering how if Kefka ordered through through Grubhub and like that, how the heck he was supposed to get his food going through the bosses and everything.
I assumed, he had like Magi Master go pick it up for him. Little old stroll down to the bottom of the tower, bring it back up. I mean, like, he was chilling at the Guardian spot.
Kalar actually is going to pick up Terra now. Now, the character is going to be the average, I guess, of the levels you have in your party. Pick up these characters kind of late. Picks up a level 40 Terra with Blitz, actually. Going to add him to the party.
Wow, he got characters late? Lucky him.
He was sitting at 5 characters when you had 10. So he spent a lot of sidetrack time trying to find those white capes, which I think he finally found in some random town relic shop. I can't even remember where it was.
Yeah, one of my big strategies for this seed was try to keep to solo checks. Try to. Reason being was, I could run into a dragon. because they are no fun whatsoever, except for Blue Dragon. If you fought Blue Dragon, it could be a boon or a bane because he gave you auto reflect. So I saw that that Kalar has killed 3 dragons.
Yes, he has killed White, Storm, and Red, I believe.
All right, so
So
he
he
got
lost. So he lost 10 vigor. His entire party was muted, and his entire party has seizure.
that's actually not so bad. And he can get KT skip if he goes to hit Gold Dragon. So
Right.
that's not so bad. And he's in for a rude awakening when he hits Magi Master. But Magi Master dished out gave us what, Bolt 3 and Flare. Although Bolt 3 only cost 5 MP to use. So that's going to be really handy for him.
Well, I mean, it'll definitely handy with Terra now in the party.
Well, I guess we'll see. Oh, he decided to keep Terra in the party. Very nice.
Yep, and
so
that's for number 10. So I believe that is Kefka unlock for them. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check their tracker. Yep. That is their Kefka unlock.
So I assume there was definitely some routing divergence going on here.
Oh, wait a minute. So after you defeat Kefka, you actually get taken to the Elder's house?
This is version 1.22.
So this is one of the betas. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, and if you noticed, Arvis was standing there. Well,
Yep.
yeah, you saw me do this as well.
I actually, that was the moment I had to walk away with a baby and a dog incident that was going on. So I had to walk away for a minute.
So there's a new check in the new Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. It is the Martial Battle, and the check belongs to Mog. So if you have Mog, you go and talk to Arvis inside his house, and it initiates a battle. It has a few of the grind fights, kind of like Kefka and Arsh. And if you do your routing right, you can skip all the fights, all the grind fights in that section, and just get right to the boss.
Interesting.
But also, it means Marshall is lurking. It's somewhere in the seed.
Which, I mean, did he get it buffed at all? I mean, Marshall is an interesting boss. He can cast Stop on your members of your party with his net. He also has Wind Slash, which is an incredibly strong skill, which you can learn on Gao early on in the game in World of Balance, which sometimes people grind for. Which I've been a victim of that for grinding for an hour trying to find Marshall. Also known as, he's called something else in the new iteration of the game.
I forget, but with version 1.2.2, they decided to mess with the fight.
I think it's called Guard Leader, but anyways.
Well, Marshall, he normally comes with a pair of Lobos, correct?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Not anymore.
Yes, I believe the monsters are randomized, so it could be the Ipoos, right?
No, worse. You could have endgame enemies like Retainer, Outsiders, Dwellers. Yeah. The fight can get incredibly nasty.
So you could get level magics with the Marshal?
I've never seen level magics hit. That would also be another nasty one. And on top of it, with the Marshal battle, you don't just kill the Marshal and win. You have to kill everything. So if you got a pair of Retainers sitting there, you got to eat the trade-offs.
Man, that's brutal.
Yeah, he is a fight to be reckoned with.
On a side note, Kalar does have a level 43 Terra with Blitz, which means that he can go to Duncan's house and be able to get Bum Rush.
I think Kalar will also be happy to notice that there's no dragons in KT.
That is very true.
No, he's packing an economizer, I see.
Yeah, Strago has been their caster. Now, I want to go back to your Coliseum demolishing, turning 3/4 of your party into Dragoons.
Yeah?
That was pretty epic damage you had going on there.
Yeah, I'm like, fixed dice offering just takes too long. Let's mitigate that by dragooning it. And that way I can target what I want with the first hit. And then finding Gao with natural jump, I'm just like, alright, this is just gravy on top of it. Let's do this.
KLR just sent us a message in our Discord chat saying, GG's Jex, I made a lot of mistakes in this. It was just lucky for you. Yeah, he hit 3 dragons, 2 of them very early on, so you definitely had the better end of the deal there. I think you also got a spicy chicken early on too, which gave you haste on top of everything else you had.
Yep, I did run into the spicy chicken. That was actually a nice one. I'm just like, ooh, hello. I get an R-Lance and I get a bonus. Cool. And, you know, I was packing fixed dice offerings, and plus the Grand Train, Go using Mimic, so I wasn't too worried about damage output and, you know, him and his high defensives making things difficult. So I just went for it on that one.
I think KLR is doing a little bit of last minute shopping here before we're going to Kefka's Tower here. I know you're around for the Coliseum 2 event that's coming up. I want to get your 2 cents on the Cyan flag set that Drulith and Zenobian has to face. Any thoughts on this thing?
Ooh, Cyan.
It's 10. You start with 10 strength, plus 25 stamina, minus 5 magic power, Coliseum win, which you did plenty of Coliseum wins, by the way. You get plus 10 strength. All these flag sets are based on the characters you start with. They are vanilla. So Cyan will be starting with a sword tech, and if you do Dome of Dream, you will get this 8 sword techs as Kalar enters KT Tower here at, I'll tell you the time in the background, 157 even, we'll call it. The commands exclude his tools because he has a thing against technology. Permadeath, that's been the talk about the rage all in the chat lately. You do have 3 Phoenix downs, and that is the only way you're going to bring back your party unless you have Life 3 or Phoenix. Phoenix has been changed to be Life 3.5 because you have a little more health than whatever Life 3 does. That's the only way to bring back your party because wells, buckets, inns, they will not bring your party back. Espers are going to be original with the original bonuses. Bosses are also going to be original in vanilla and the vanilla locations and their regular abilities. And no free lunch. So Espers and characters will not be found at the free checks.
So with this flag set, Cyan, I have done 1 or 2 runs of it. So there's a couple of nasty things to go with the permadeath. That means no shops and chests are not gonna have Phoenix downs. You're gonna just run into, it'll just say empty. But there is one way to mitigate that. Who said it? Double Down or Drulith? If it's got wings, take its things. Apparently birds, you can steal Phoenix downs from.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So there is a way to get a little extra. Now with the original bosses, great for early and mid game. Once you hit KT, you have to fight Guardian, Spicy Chicken, Doom, Goddess.
Yes.
If you don't have skip, you gotta hit Inferno on top of it. It's gonna just be a messy KT. So you gotta be prepped for it.
Yeah, so even if you get the skip, well, you're not gonna find the statues in the early game. They're gonna be there waiting for you in the late game, as you just said. That was my other fear of this flag set, and it is gonna be permadeath because one guy's gonna move on, the other one's gonna be going home because it is lower bracket double elimination. That will be their second elimination, and the winner will move on to face Falcon Hit in the grand final. The interesting thing is if Drulith or Zenobian beat Falcon Hit, the bracket resets and they will have to play a second game with a different flag set than they just ran. And each of these rounds will have a new flag set that's not repeated. So the grand final, their first race will be a different flag set. And if they have to rerun the race again, it'll be another flag set on top of that. So the first one could be Celeste, and the next one could be Mog. You don't know.
Trying to think of I need to bring up the sheet here.
Figure out which ones are left.
Science. Huh? Oh, I'm just bringing up the sheet for the Science flag set, just to refresh my memory on some of the things going on with it.
Thank you for turning off force flashes, by the way, for this. I appreciate that. As the bomb rush comes out.
Yeah, I've gotten in the habit of removing worst flashes because the bum rush is hard on the eyes.
Oh, it really is.
So boss battles are original. Did they also do the grind fights original on the flag set? I don't know.
That is
something to look at.
You just got plus 15 vigor there. I don't know why. Oh, Dataluma. Oh, Dataluma was a... Oh, yeah, Dataluma was a reward, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, plus 15 vigor to the entire party. So he lost 10 vigor from Red Dragon, but now he just got 15 back, so now he's plus 5 vigor overall.
Things happen with this team.
Hey, yeah.
I wonder how he's going to handle Magi Master.
That is interesting. Yeah, you had to reset out of it the first time to retool.
Yeah.
Similar to what Drulith did in the tournament there. Retooling and just put offering on the fixed dice user.
Yeah, I just shimmied over.
Available.
Yeah, I just shimmied over to fixed dice and yeah, it worked out.
Well, Kalar is coming up on the switches here. Well, unfortunately, did not find the fourth dragon. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know which, because, dragons did hinder your abilities. But he's gotten to the point where would be the shortcut on the switches here for Kefka's Tower. So there you are, halfway through. I also want to thank the 32 viewers following along here, finishing this race out. Keep cheering on for Kalar. In this, I'm saying it right, Kalar?
I've been calling him Kalar.
Okay. I don't want to call him Kalar
tomato,
because...
tomato.
Yeah. Or MacBran. Well, here comes that Magi Master fight that you were just mentioning on the Guardian. Does have Edgar and Terra, so two of the members of the team. Not much damage coming out of Edgar, unfortunately. But Terra does have Bum Rush, though. So that should definitely be helpful. Wow. 8,000 damage. That
Yeah.
should be pretty good.
Yeah, he's got this fight in the bag.
Well,
I
depends.
bet he's loving auto seizure.
Yeah. Yeah, the only way to counter the auto seizure would be a cure ring or Marvel shoes, I believe.
Marvel shoes just gives you regen, so it just kind of mitigates it.
Well, I think if you get regen, if you get Reagan on you, it cancels out the seizure, and you just start healing instead. I believe that's how it works, because that's how it works when you cast Kieran. Tell you what, all that practice by doing Magi's Tower, that's how you do Bum Rush. He gets through the fight in the first try.
And now he's got his 5 MP cost bolt too.
Yay!
Now has well, he did just pick up Terra, but I hope he
Level
realizes
50.
Does yeah, Mantra removes mute.
Yes, it does.
So he could go into KT without the white capes. Or go into Final Kefka without white capes.
Does it reset on each tier?
Yes, it does. So you'll just have to recast Mantra.
But it
which
does
is
not
a big deal.
But it doesn't remove it from themselves, though. It only removes it from your fellow members.
Correct, but it doesn't matter. Terra's using Bum Rush anyways.
Right. Which, again, is not targetable. So you have to be a little careful with it on certain tiers of Kefka.
True. Oh, he has a Inferno to take down on top of this on the right side, if I remember correctly.
Yep, a French vanilla Infernos are waiting for them too. Ooh, that's their last two. That's their last two sleeping bags there too.
Something about nice things and not having them.
Yeah, I don't think they have any tents either. So these last two team members will not be able to heal themselves after this fight very well. Because they also used up all their ethers as well.
Fortunately.
And here's that Inferno fight.
Oh, left side. Oops, got it mixed up.
Come on, Lefty Lucy. Oh, that was a lock with X magic? Okay. Well, he does have Bolt and Flare, so he would be somewhat usable here.
Oh, don't be using Flare. It costs 200 MP.
Oh. Probably didn't see that.
That was one of the things I did with this flag set. I'm like, ooh, new flag to play with.
Increased cost of individual spells.
Yep. Well, randomize the cost of spells. So I put the cost anywhere between 0 and 200.
That's a pretty good stunner coming out of Mog. Mog, decent magic power character to begin with.
Now, did Kalar go for the Pally Shield as I did?
Yes.
Yep,
he also did, well, I think they did Magitech Facility.
I assume there was a pair of dragons sitting in there.
Storm Dragon was, I believe, in the cart ride.
Icky. So, fun thing with this flag set. The last time I ran it, I had Dirty Durgan at my last statue fight. So I had to do Final Kefka with Auto Sleep.
Is there a counter for sleep?
Not to my knowledge. Get punched in the face.
I mean...
Yeah, it made Final Kefka terrible. I got it on the first try, but it was bad. I don't even think ribbon stops it initially. Then again, I don't think I even had ribbon.
And they're the only thing I'm thinking that's the only thing that could. By the way, don't forget Ultros League Season 3 starts in just one short week away, January 28th. Whether you're new to the game or have never joined a league before, or just a returning league player, you won't want to miss out on a chance to play some fun races with great opponents. Info, rules, and sign up are available on www.ultrosleague.com. It's like I do this for a living.
Well, to add to it, anybody who is new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, go to ff6wc.com or ff6worldscollide.com, I think is the other one. There is a link to our Discord. Please come join in our community. There's a lot of people here that are willing to show you the ropes, help you get set up, teach you the routing, some of the different strats that we use, and have you join in on the fun that we enjoy here. Also, give our Restream team and our runners a follow, and yeah, again, come join the fun.
Yeah, we also have one tournament specifically designed for newcomers. It's the Moogle's First Tournament. I do want to see it come back again because some of our core runners lately that have been going in these tournaments have been finishing in the top 16 because they were a part of that Moogle's First Tournament. And in that tournament, you do get one-on-one coaching with some of our members of this team that we're talking about in the early stages of that tournament. So it's definitely something you want to look into. Hopefully it's coming back soon. We'll probably take a little break after the Coliseum tournament, of course. But
oh no, there is no break. We jump right into Ultros League 3.
Oh, goodness gracious. Actually, this tournament's still going on when Ultros 3 comes out, actually.
I think Ultros starts next week.
Yep, January 28th. I re-signed up. I'm currently in Potion again.
I dropped from Mega Elixir down to Elixir.
No!
I did terrible.
I don't know how I qualified in Coliseum. Honestly, I think it's because somebody said they were trying to do a glitch to try to do perma morph or something, and it cost them like 15 minutes. And that's how I got in. It was one of our top 10 runners in our community, and they were just goofing around.
You know, I have never tried permamorph until the Coliseum tournament, and I finally got it. And now that I know how to do it, it's so much easier. There's a few different methods too. So anybody that is not familiar with permamorph, the one way to get it is with Final Kefka. You can have morph up and finish a tier of Final Kefka, and when the timer runs out, you transfer tiers and permamorph is now active. Now there's another one. Permamorph is on, timer goes down, cast quick on a different character, and the timer continues going down even though different character is in quick mode. You can wait for the timer to go out and you activate permamorph. There was another one I accidentally ran into. I had morph up and Tiger on tier 2 used Northern Cross and froze my morph character. Timer went down and permamorph once again. So yeah, there's some fun nifty ways to get it to get the ability or glitch activated.
So instead of you best be frozen, you best be morphed.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kalar has reached the Kefka climb now. He's currently at tier 1. His team's at level 50. I don't see too much... okay, I might have spoken too soon with the Quake coming out here. Because he killed Head.
Something about nice
last.
things and not having them.
Yeah. So, like I said before, if you kill Head last, that's what happens. Now, there is a counter to that by casting Float on your entire party, which we did see earlier in the week with the Yamaru set being enraged and all. Some of your rage characters will just hit things randomly. By casting Float on the entire party, that can negate that Quake move.
Yep, also Gaia Gear. Well,
which will heal you, yeah.
Yep.
But, I mean, that's meh for armor, though.
It
serves
low
one purpose.
It's low mid-tier armor, is what I consider it.
Well, Gaia Gear serves two purposes in this game. One is for that Quake thing that just happened, and for fighting Dirt Durgan. That's pretty much it, in my opinion. Well, I guess
Quake.
Maybe the Gigantos fight, I guess, the big giant troll guys.
Landworms.
That cast, whatever one that casts Magnitude 8s.
Yeah, Landworms.
Yeah.
Hades Gigas.
Yeah, Hades Gigas, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, those ones, that kind of helps with that, too.
There is one other one. I forget his name. And what the heck are the stupid things called?
There's a lot of stupid
Chicken
things.
Lips. Chicken Lips.
Oh, Chicken Lips.
Chicken Lips.
Best monster name ever. Come on now.
I've had them party wipe me before.
Aww.
They cast Quake. And you get, what, 5 or 6 of them?
By the way, if the viewers sticking around, once we finish this, we'll make chit-chat with KLR here for a little bit, and then we'll be raiding one of our members of our community right after this. So if you want to stick around for more Final Fantasy VI action after midnight here on the East Coast, we will definitely throw it to one of our members of our community. We also want to thank people for coming back after our Coliseum 2 match earlier tonight. In case you missed it, those VODs will be available on our YouTube the next morning. I will get on that as soon as I'm done with this. Usually I've done it by now, but we did have this other community night race we wanted to get in. But those will be available on our YouTube at FF6 Worlds Collide. If we want to hit 1,000 subscribers on there, we're currently a little over 830. If we hit over 1,000 subscribers, we will actually be monetized. And all of the proceeds that we get from our community actually goes to charity. So that'll be another avenue for our community to give back to really good causes. A little bit low on health here.
He's staying pretty stable. I mean, like, he is on the lower side. He's not going to like it when he gets hit by Meteo, but he'll be fine if he gets things done quickly enough.
He does have auto image, by the way, from a previous fight. So he actually has the Fenrir effect automatically on his team. So 10 hits not being too bad, although the seizure effect is kind of making up for it.
Oh, you found Goddess.
Yes, he ran into Goddess, which was the dragon inside of Phoenix Cave.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he decided to do dragon because he already had 3, so I was like, well, I'll try dragon, see if there's a chance of this being a dragon. It ended up being Goddess, and got rewarded with the auto image. Low health here going into tier 3. Now, this is kind of risky because Sleeve does open up with the AoE attack.
Does he have, like, any fire shields?
He has an ice shield, I think, because that was one of the dead checks. But here comes Merton.
And bad things are about to happen.
Yep, half the party down. I was going to do the
Ooh.
Life 3 route for the communist protection here.
Yeah, Life 3 is expensive. That's like 170 MP down the drain.
Well, I mean, Strago, if he has Life 3, that only costs 1 MP for them, because he does have the economizer on him. So, lucky for them there. And that was a lucky bum rush there, knocking Girl down to under 1,000 HP there. So, per win does equal to your current health to the party, which is the girl and sleep. So, that's only going to do about 700-800 HP there. And Grand Chain will actually finish her off here.
Oh, and he's also, with the low health, he's also fighting with the auto seizure.
Oh, goodness. Does he have Cure? He's got to have Cure 3. I mean, I know he had health. I know we had 2 characters with health throughout the run here. But I think that was on Setzer and Shadow. And I know Shadow had health. That was picked up later on by Kalar. Or Kalar. Wow, it's going with the Grand Chain with such low health, with Meteor coming out probably after this hit here.
You might be able to bypass it.
Well, Wild Wind. It's not going to kill anything.
Ooh.
Oh, missed everything, actually. 125 HP, man. Seizure's getting really close here. There's that Meteor.
Bad things.
Life 3 is going to bring back Edgar and Terra? No, not Terra.
Comes the bad stuff.
Ooh, couple 9. Okay, there comes. This is Calmness right here.
Oh no!
Life 3's not on Cyan. He's going to lose Terra and Cyan. But again, he had other characters that he replaced late. So it's not horrible. I mean, Go-Go could be jumping back in here.
Yeah, mimic the Grand Trains.
Which I think Go-Go already had lore equipped. And if he has maybe even Shadow available here. No, it's Mog and Locke, unfortunately. Locke is X Magic, and I don't remember what Mog has. Well, he did learn 10 spells, so that means Locke does have Bolt 3 and Flare.
But they are muted.
Yeah. Nope, they're not muted. He does have a White Cape on him.
Ah, smart.
Let's see what Moggy is. Sword Tech Mog. With 6 levels of Sword Tech, actually. So it does have Stunner.
Maga is also able to heal himself, if needed.
Yep, with a 6 in power, but there comes the Fallen One, but it does have the Mega Elixir thanks to the Magimaster and the Guardian spot.
Oh no. Oh, he got lucky.
Oh, the
he
counter?
Got so lucky. No. Auto seizure.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, that could have wiped out the whole party there.
I've seen it happen.
Double X Magic Bolt 3's coming in for 2k apiece. Grand Train's doing about, was it, about 5 or 6k? Yep. He's gearing up for the charge up here of Goner, checking off the Thunder Shield here. Oh, there's a Thunder Shield and a Ice Shield here, so that's going to be pretty decent damage here. Looks like Goner needs a little bit more, Kefka needs a little bit more damage before he gets into his Goner phase here.
I noticed that he is not weight tricking.
No, Kalar hasn't been doing any of the little tricks and dips here. Well, his party is not really muted here because they do have White Capes, but they're all going to be blinded here.
That's alright. Oh, yeah. Especially since he's casting magic, the white cape is saving him.
Yep. So Train really not doing anything here. Oh, there comes the Havoc Wing counter, but has the auto image thanks to an earlier fight. So these Havoc Wing counters are doing nothing.
Yet.
Keyword. What was the auto thing from?
Goddess.
Oh, Goddess, yeah. So that was the extra Goddess fight he did in the Phoenix Cave. Saving his bacon. He's got to be close to Goner here. The damage is a little lower than usual, but still. Oh, Hyperdrive is not going to be able to be evaded by Image. Here comes the Hyperdrive counters, one after another. This is going to be taking out the party here. Here comes the Garner charge up. So out come the shields. I don't think it's going to be enough damage to stop the Garner here. 2 characters up. Struggle will definitely survive this. Locke, I don't know how their other equipment is. Struggle does have Life 3 still available, I believe, on him. Yep, Locke survives, and is going to be able to Phoenix down Edgar here. But again, you got to be careful here because of the seizure is going to be constantly damaging the party here. So Locke is going to take another effect here.
And the auto image.
Oh,
Thanks
wow.
to Revenger.
Cure is the best spell for healing? Oh my goodness. I also cast Reagan. I mean, it's going to do about the same. And actually counteract some of the effects here from the seizure. Well, here comes another Endbound Chaos with Goner. Now, the more party members you have up as Locke goes down there, the better off you're gonna. The damage mitigates itself across the entire party. So I believe Mog and Strago will survive off this. And that's a kapow kapow. Kalar gets through it. 226-24. GG's all in chat there. You say you didn't want to forfeit, you didn't want to give up. Kudos to that mentality. Jex is going to ask them if they want to chit-chat about the interview here real quick. As they're doing that, want to follow up on a little bit of Coliseum 2 action as we get Kalar here into here. He sure as why not. Coming up soon. Oh, wrong one. Coming soon, we do have the lower bracket of the Coliseum 2 tournament. It's going to be Zenobian versus Druith. It's match 61 of the Coliseum 2 tournament. Winner will move on to face Falcon Hit in the grand final. The flag set that they will be facing, we mentioned before, is Scion's Katana. Sorry, it's late. I've been talking a lot here. Stats would be plus 10 strength, plus 5 stamina, minus 5 magic power, plus 20 strength if you get a Coliseum win, which Jexvrok did a lot of. If you do the Dome of Dream, he will learn his 8 sword techs because he will be starting with sword tech. Tools command will not be available, but I guess maybe Possess will be, so keep that in mind. Permadeath, I guess if you possess and you have permadeath, I guess you're going to die too, so that's just kind of awkward. He has to go into the waiting area. Espers and bosses and all that scaling, all that's going to be completely vanilla. So we know where all the bosses are going to be, and because we know what the bosses are going to be, that means the statues are going to be where the statues are normally are. So we got to keep that in mind as well. No free checks here, so no espers and no characters will be at the automatic checks for that. So the Gauss house with the shadow check, that check will be automatically an item for that. And we have, I'm sorry, I'm seeing Kalar. Which is it? I'm sorry.
Are you there, Kalar? Is your
Okay,
mic
Discord
muted?
Discord just had an update. You want to go in the options and make sure that the correct settings are there. There was actually two Discord updates the last couple days.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so on your wheel you want to select the it might be on default. Oh, he doesn't hear us.
He was muted to us for a hot second there.
Yeah, Windows updates and Discord updates has a habit of not saving your settings on Discord. Unfortunately.
Alright. Well, while we are waiting for Kalar to fix his stuff, again, if you are new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, come join us in our Discord. You can find a link at ff6wc.com or ff6worldscollide.com. Give the Restream team and our runners a follow, and continue to cheer us on, and come join the community. Got a bunch of awesome people here that are willing to show you what's going on and all that fun stuff.
That was my own fault. I forgot to do that.
GG's, Kalar.
GG's.
Is it Kalar? Which is it?
Dealer's choice. I normally pronounce it Kalar.
Hey!
Kalar it is.
Hey, I was right! So, okay. You did not give up, so kudos to you. Walk us through the unfortunate white dragon, white cape incident. Let's talk about that first.
I wanted to kick myself when I sit there, and it finally occurred to me. Just go find a ribbon or a white cape. Just go find that and stop fighting with us.
Yeah, that is actually where the gap occurred between the two of you. You two were pretty much neck and neck, but yeah, you having to take a detour to look for that's where the gap kind of opened up, actually.
Yeah, I should have, especially when I realized it was a dead check, I should have just bailed out of it. I didn't want to give up the levels, which is why I didn't do it, but I should have.
I agree with you on that assessment. I myself only ended up fighting one dragon. It was Old Dragon, which was the Mog's Martial check. So I only lost 10 spells because of it.
And one of the checks you did do, Kalar, was you actually went to Magitech facility, taking advantage of the wire move, but did run into Stormy in the carts there.
Yeah, hence the reason I was bleeding hit points for the rest of the match.
But that was a good idea, because that was a couple of checks that normally wouldn't be there because you didn't have Celeste. That was good. Kudos to you on that, though.
Well, I was glad to make use of it, but then I sit there and I kept forgetting why remove at other points in times, waiting for NPCs or not going to other checks I could have. going and buying the rust rid instead of just using the Y remove to get past the door.
So I have a question for you. What was what series of things made you determine the routing that you took? You know, like taking M-Tech, Burning House, that kind of thing.
Well, M-Tech, I sit there and I wanted to take advantage of the fact that we had Y remove. But Burning House, it was the only one that I saw of our initial characters that had fixed encounters. And I like to make use of those for leveling.
And the fixed encounters was interesting. They were actually darlings, was the fixed encounters for them.
But yeah, that was the reason for Burning House. And M-Tech, it was, all right, I've got Y remove, why not make use of it? It's 4 possible fights to find the statue bosses and get the benefits. Instead, I find dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one dragon check you did do, which was actually in Phoenix Cave, was ended up being Goddess. I think it took you 2 tries on that, but that actually rewarded you with something huge, with the auto image that saved you through the K3 and K4 fights, actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, they sit there and ran out when Calmness came around, so I sit there and wound up losing Terra with Bum Rush, which really hurt.
So one of the things that I did for my routing choices was I stuck to checks that were grind fights or free, or checks that I like solo checks that I could just save beforehand, move in, see what the boss is, and reset if I needed to. Which I got lucky today and didn't have to do any of that on the resetting end.
Burning House, M-Tech 1, and I can't remember where the 3rd dragon was. But other than that, I ran into a few dead checks that I didn't see till after I'd already sit there and completed them. But yeah, the dragons were the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think Jex, what you were talking about was like Serpent's Trench, for instance, was one where it
I never got Gao.
Where the heck did I find Gao?
Gao was behind Yamaro.
Oh, right. Because I ended up with 10 characters.
I did too. I just didn't, never did Umaro's check.
Gotcha. So what did you think of the flag set overall?
Says the mad scientist.
Actually, for the most part, me and Jex were talking earlier about this. I don't have a problem with the flag sets he tends to make, but I do kick myself when I don't remember the things I need to do to get around them. This is actually the first time I ran across auto mute, so I didn't realize I couldn't just echo screen it away at the start of battle. That's what I was going to do at first.
Yeah, I did see you try that and it didn't work, unfortunately. So yeah, like you followed up with the only other option, which was finding a white cape or ribbon, and that fortunately took you about 15 towns, it felt like, to finally find one.
Oh,
yeah.
So Mantra would not have worked.
Oh, probably not then.
Yeah, so that is good information for future runs of this flag set.
Yeah, I tried Remedy and I tried Echo Screen. Neither one of them would do it.
Any last words about this run before we toss it to a member of our community? We're going to raid them here in a little bit.
Nah, just GG's to Jex. Thanks for running it, Saber. And
No problem.
I definitely have a lot to learn from.
Jexy, the mad scientist, anything from you, bud?
No. I've given my spiel twice already. I mean, like, if you want me to give it a third time, I shall.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, anybody who's new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, come on, join our Discord, ff6wc.com or ff6worldscollide.com. got a wonderful community here. We do Seed of the Weeks, community races, bunch of fun tournaments, Moogle First tournament. Hopefully we'll be getting that thing started up within the next couple of months. We also have Ultras League. We got a lot of different events that we run throughout the year. And we also have a great community that is willing to teach you the different strategies, routing, and help you get set up to run this wonderful game.
Most certainly. And I'm going to piggyback on that for you all. I want to thank Jex and Kalar for running this for us. Appreciate you guys for showing off the seed and everything. And also the optional quests that we can have incorporated into World's Class. Not just about finding characters and espers. There's some other questy things that you can do in this game that makes it more interesting. So thank you for that.
Yep. All right. GG's, and thanks for tuning in.
So a couple things before we get off the air. I want to remind everybody that starting next week, again, Zenobian versus Drulith. Again, get on our Discords, keep track on our Twitters for the date and time of when exactly that race will be. They, again, will be running the Cyan's Katana. We've talked about it multiple times. That is the flag set they're looking at. It is permadeath. It is no free checks. All the bosses are going to be vanilla, so the statues will be where the statues normally are. So keep an eye on when that race will be. Also, Ultras League starting next week, January 28th. We're less than a week away from the start of that. Get on www.ultrasleague.com to join that league. And they're progressive tiers. There's like multiple tiers. So lower level tiers, or like the potion and tonics, or some of the races there, and there's also Elixir, Mega Elixir for the harder runners, the better players. So it is tiered and geared to the level of play that you might be at for running in this game. So don't be afraid to join in, because there is lower tiers for some of the newer players, and there's higher tiers for your harder core players. So don't be afraid of that. Once again, I am Saberwolf. We are going to throw it over